Hi, thank you for checking out my template for hosting your own online trivia or Zoom trivia, Webex trivia, uh, whatever other trivia you might be trying to host here. Just kind of when you're online, you can not have someone hand in an answer sheet. We've created a free template here that can help you score really quickly. So we've done some trivia with friends and family, and we've been texting or emailing in the answers, and it just takes a long time to score. So I created this tool on Airtable that's free. It's on the free version of Airtable to hopefully make it a lot easier to score, and just takes a little minimal setup. Creating the tool doesn't, but using the tool pretty simple. So if you have come to this video from the template, I mean, you've already tried to open the template and use it. Hopefully this is the screen that you started with. You should see here's where I'm going to put the link to this video that shows you how to do it. I hope you click that, and that's how you got here. If you just stumbled across this on YouTube, the link to this template will be in the show notes, or however they are on YouTube, whatever the term is for that. I do very few YouTube videos, so when I do podcasts, I call them show notes. Moving on. This should be kind of your view. Up here, there'll be copy base. You're going to have to click that to make this base your own. You will get some limited records from, but it's my answer. You don't have the questions that go with that. So the first thing that we're going to do is just kind of familiarize ourselves with the tabs here. This will be the where you have the instructions, and then you'll fill in your own links. I can't put links. If I were to put links here already to the forms, the answer sheets and whatnot, they'll just go to mine and not to yours. So when you copy this base and make it your own, and I'll go over how to do that, you can then put those links in here just so you have them in one easy spot for you to help share, as opposed to have to go in and try and find the link all over again. This will be the scoreboard per game. So this was my first trial, kind of just doing it verbally. This is my test from last night when I found out that this kind of does work, and it was pretty quick. This was a game. So this is, each one of these can be different games. So you just need to assign. You would just need to assign different names if you want to use the same answers in the record, and we'll get to that where it is in the answer key. You link that here to kind of separate out the individual games. Each game must have its own answer key, even if you're reusing an answer key, so that you can define the game. This is where your contestant answers will come in. They'll come in by round. So I kind of try to move question one of all the rounds here to the front, so you can kind of see when they start to populate. As you see, there's a much more than there was on this board, because you then have to just link them together so that it's all in one strip for you, which makes it a little bit easier to grade. This is where that stuff comes in. This is also where the answer sheets are. So when I get to that point, I'll show you what happens there. And then this is where you put your answer key. Should be pretty self-explanatory. When you get a new answer key, you load them up just straight across. You add a new record, and boom, you just go straight across with more answers. Round one, question one, round two, round one, question two, straight across, and that will populate in that manner, and then you'll assign them to the scoreboard. So, hosting the trivia. If you've copied the base, that's right, this is less responsive. This is the more responsive side here of the actual one that I've been using. This is where you can add the record in. As you could see, if you don't do that copy base, you don't see that record there. Once you do that, once you're signed in and logged into Airtable, this is the stuff that you can see to actually add stuff to the different levels. So the first thing you have to do, unfortunately the part that I'm not giving you here, is make your own trivia here's where I just kind of threw it all into just a simple Google Doc if you're just making your own, weird things to know. These were the questions that I asked. And then I put my links here because these are actually fairly easy in a Google Doc to share like this. And you just copy the link. And we were doing it on Zoom. I'm sorry, we were actually doing it on Webex, but Zoom, I'm assuming, has the same capability. You just put it into the chat box, or if you want to email them out all ahead of time and be like, hey, use the round 1, use the round 2, so on and so forth as you go through. So you got to make your trivia. If you want to get trivia that's already done for you, I will throw a quick shout out to my compatriot who here at Gumroad, I'll put the link down in the bottom here. This will get you a pre-made trivia with slides that you can actually show on Zoom, and you can just buy straight out the box. You'll either get PowerPoint or Keynote when you throw it up, and that will have its own. I made a similar template to this because that's the way she does it live, usually at a bar. Your typical bar trivia, it has a slightly different format. I made the same thing. These instructions will all work, but there's a different base. Again, it's all free. It'll just say Keeks Trivia Answers Template. I'll also have that in the notes below, and I'm going to start trying to add them to that. So the same thing shows up. It's slightly different round count and different questions per round. So, but like I said, as opposed to just reading them off of a Google Doc, they come with the question on a slide that you can show, and when you can share your screen and read aloud that way. So coming back here, so you've made your trivia. You've come up with up to 6 rounds. This scoreboard, however you want to describe it. I'm calling it a scoreboard. Up to 6 rounds you can enter into of 10 questions each. So unless you want to start messing around with the formulas and how they're all linked together, 10 questions per round. You can do less than 10 questions per round, but keep it to 6 rounds. That's all I went out on this, which is quite a bit of a number of time if you're reading them aloud. So the first piece that we're going to go to is the score. On the scoreboard tab, there is a form here. This is your team name entry. So it's just a form. You just have to put them. You just have to sign up for the game, basically. And then here under share form, this is where you'll get the link to that form. So again, that's where I was like, you can then go and put your own link on your front page here. Once you could put that right here, and that way you have them all in one place for yourself. But they're going to have to do that, and I'll show you here. So this will be what they see. If you want to pay for Airtable, you can add your own branding and all that to this. But if you're just trying to host some quick trivia kind of for free, you're just using a free template here. You want to do it with a Google Doc that's also free. This works, and this nobody really complained to me that it didn't look. So I'm just gonna say, hey, this is me. I'm gonna submit that. And then on the scoreboard view, here's me. Now, I don't have this assigned to an answer key, which I just realized I'm going to have to go back and show you. So this is not how you do it. You would have added your own answer key, as I was saying, when you made your questions, but I kind of forgot. So we'll call this the video test answer key. And because we're using those same answers, again, I'm just going to copy from the one above. You can all see my poor typing here. But those are the answers that we're going to need. So then back on our scoreboard, as you get your people basically signing up, and it's still saving up here in the corner, so it's going to be a little bit to go. As you get your people signing up, you then assign them your answer sheet. So whatever you can. So this one, like I said, to separate the game, it has to have its own. So we're going to call it the video test, and that's going to make its own game out of it. It's also going to try and put it down here because, frankly, it's grouped in alphabetical order. The nice thing is it will. I'll scroll down to it. All of your people will be here, and your games will be grouped, and you can then use these. I would not ungroup it because that's what groups it by the game, but you can, and it's sorted by who's winning each particular game. But you can try and like filter out other ones or call these different numbers so that game number, game 1, game 2, game 3, and that way they put them in an order, and that way your game can always be at the top if you sort it by highest to lowest. Your game will rotate to the top. So then once your teams have populated, they've entered it there, you then can send them the round 1 answer sheet. And as you can see, I didn't put, there's no questions here. You can go in and like edit and add the questions. I wouldn't do that because it gives people that extra bit. I mean, they're already on a computer. They're already on, have their phone to be sending these in, but you don't want them, having a little ability to read ahead. You gotta make them wait for the question. So it's important. As I have made it required here, they have to put their team name in so that you kind of see it. So there's me and question 1, and again, I'm just going off of here. He crossed a Rubicon. Okay, that's Caesar. And then he crossed a Delaware was question 2. That's Washington. This was Roosevelt. And it's up to you to be, as far as spelling and what autocorrect may do to people who are on phones. But when you get to the end of the round, they have to hit submit. And you'll see, okay, so they don't populate here. You can do it from this screen. You can try and link. You have to now link their answer to their team. But see, it populates because this is a one-to-many relational database. It's a little bit easier as the answers are coming in. You'll see them populating at the bottom. And here's me. I was testing out this before, so that one you're not going to see. But here's me, 30, and I just have it. So okay, I know this is team name me, so I can come right to this one right here, and it's only going to show me the. I can link that to that, and now there's no other link. I can only link it to one thing. So when I come back, once I've linked all of the ones that have come in, and you'll see, look, my answers populated with the questions that were there with the answers. So now it makes it really easy to grade. So just come here. Oh, that one's right. Check mark. Coming across. And you actually see, so up here you see, here's what people, this is going people's answers. Here's the correct answer. Here's what they did answer, and you just mark the ones that are right in a going down the line. One too far. And because we're running recording equipment, obviously everything slows down here. Oh, and then that's all I got. So I didn't get any. I don't get any credit for these other ones. And again, we didn't put in answers. That's why you're not seeing the answers, but they're there if you fill all the way across. And then I will show you. Here's the round 1 score. Now, after round 1, it's only going to show you round 1. This is the total score, and these appear out of order. But after round 1, because it's sorted by the final and the total, so it's sorted by after round 6, it'll show you who's winning after each round, basically, because who's ever winning, there's no score on 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's how that'll be. We got 3 right, so we're 3 would be at the top. Here, this 6 was at the top and then kind of went down. So go all the way back over to the left here. That's how you'll score, and you just kind of go through that. And while someone's scoring it, hopefully you've got somebody else kind of with you. One person can score, and one person can be reading off the questions with the correct answer for people. And then when they're done doing that, you can do it kind of like live, like as you're reading the question, you can be kind of grading because it actually goes fairly quickly. I will show you here. This is where you find the team name one under the contestant collection. This is where you will find the other answer sheets for each round. So it's not the same answer sheet over and over. And again, same as I showed you before, when you go into the answer sheet, this is where you can say, hey, share form. This is where you get your link. And again, I'm recommending that you kind of throw them all into here so that you just kind of have them. So you don't have to do that step each and every single time you want to share a form. You've just got them here. You can click in and copy and paste it into the chat box, into a text message, throw it into an email labeled round 1, round 2, round 3. And this is where they've already answered their thing. So that's how you can work this free template to score some trivia. And I hope you're staying safe and enjoying hosting some online trivia. Thanks for checking out my template.